For the second election in a row, powerful out-of-state interests have put money into the race for Washington County District Attorney.
4 years ago, a co-founder of Facebook was tied to the effort to defeat incumbent Kevin Barton. That was revealed in an exclusive investigation by our Dan Tilken. And Dan, here now once again, and with more on this time where the money is coming from, Dan.
So this time, Barton's opponent, Brian Decker, received $20,000 this week from a New York organization supported by liberal billionaire George Soros, who is a controversial figure. People either love him or hate him, depending on their political views. Brian Decker on the left is a defense attorney trying to unseat incumbent Kevin Barton. State records show the $20,000 Decker received is from the group Drug Policy Action in Manhattan. IRS records show it is tied to the Drug Policy Alliance. A spokesman confirms it's supported financially by billionaire George Soros' organization, and he sits on the board.
Why should people be concerned about that?
It's outside influences, extremist views, trying to buy what should be a local county race. This race is a referendum on public safety, and we have extremists who are coming in and trying to buy the race.
Or how come we can't interview Brian Decker?
Brian Decker's out knocking on doors.
Do you think voters should be concerned that out-of-state interests have donated money to a local race?
I think that each individual voter is going to make a decision about whom they want to support, and they'll make their decisions about whom they'll vote for, who they're going to donate to, and what other supporters they want to look into about any candidate.
A spokesman for Drug Policy Action told me it is the leading nonprofit organization in the United States working to treat drug use as a health issue, not a criminal problem. DPA proudly supports candidates who share our vision of ending the failed war on drugs and building a better approach. IRS and state records also show the same group donated money to Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt's campaign in 2020 and millions of dollars to successfully pass Oregon Measure 110 to decriminalize drug possession. In 2018, Coin documented how a political operative of George Soros helped direct nearly $700,000 to Barton's then-opponent, Max Wall. But campaign finance laws didn't require the true source of that money to be revealed until after the election, when Coin 6 News discovered the money was linked to a co-founder of Facebook.
Do you think you folks should return the money to the Drug Policy Alliance in action?
I don't have any reason to believe that that's being considered. No.
So out-of-state left-leaning groups have been trying to manipulate races for district attorney in different cities across the country in an effort to shape the criminal justice system. At the same time, there's been a lot of reporting on how the Republican-backed Federalist Society has worked hard to stack the courts. Why all this? Well, political strategists on both sides are thinking it's easier to affect policies by getting people who believe in your cause directly in charge of making decisions versus trying to shape law through the gridlock Congress or legislatures that might not be aligned with your ideology.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And Dan, I want to ask, do you know if there's any chance that more out-of-state money will go into the campaign?
So at this point in the campaigns, candidates have 7 days to report the money, which means you don't know until the last second or even after the election is over. Now, I asked Decker's campaign if they gotten any more than the $20,000. They say no, and we should note that that $20,000 is a small fraction of the contributions that Brian Decker has received.
Oh, right. And this happened the last election. You found out a lot about all these contributions after the election was over.
After the election. It was a lot more money then.
Yeah.
But something that voters need to be aware of regardless of party.
Absolutely. Why so much local money is going into a local election?
Yep.
So much out-of-state money. All right. Thanks, Dan.